Hello, everyone. My name is Bethany, and welcome to the Leverage Lab Notes. This is our LinkedIn newsletter. Today, we are recording for our Women's Leader segment, Breaking Barriers, where we interview inspiring women in our community. Today, I am joined with Megan Fretty, Director of Marketing at Tabono Law. Hey, Megan.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So I'm just going to start off with a few questions and get the conversation flowing. Can
Sounds
you just
great.
tell us a little bit about your background and past marketing experience?
So my background, interesting enough, started with film, animation, and illustration.
Okay.
So that was kind of my dream was to work for Disney one day. That was like
Yeah.
my thing that I was going to do. But once everything transitioned into like the 3D stuff like that, I was like, I like drawing lines. I don't like numbers and sliders and like.
Yeah.
So it was something that I finished my degree and I made it through it, but I knew that it wasn't going to end up being what, my forever thing.
Yeah.
So even though I didn't go to school for graphic design, it was something that I love. I'm very mathematical, but also creative and things like that. So it just kind of was like, I like grids and things that are pretty and stuff like that. So I kind of just like took it like a fresh fish to water. And it was something that I had a position at like a home decor place where, I was just like a junior designer doing whatever random stuff someone wanted me to do. And then it turned out that they liked what I did better than the other person who was supposed to be doing stuff too. So then eventually I got into not just like the design, but also like marketing materials and stuff like that. So I started primarily mostly with print marketing work. So everything from, pamphlets, mailers. I've also done a lot of like, I have nerdy stuff behind me. I love, my whole Disney background. I love all that animation stuff, Japanese anime, all those things. So I've even been involved in like fandom zines and like publishing stuff like that. And so that's, always was something that was super fun. But I kind of just fell upon into like, hey, we're going to have you do e-marketing now. Hey, we're going to have you like, it was just kind of like we're just going to give you a random thing, figure it out sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so that opportunity ended, which for me, it was like, I knew that I wanted to get out of where I was. I felt like I was kind of stuck. There wasn't anywhere up for me. So, that's how I got to marketing. It was like a long kind of windy journey, but
that you were kind of building upon those skills. And then I feel like that happens a lot in marketing where it's like you start off with something and you're like, okay, I can do this too. I can do this too. So that's really cool that you were able to adapt and grow your skill set like that. So how did you come to Tabono Law?
So that was kind of like I was in between jobs and just, looking for what my next opportunity would be. At that time, I was very much like, well, I had a lot of hats at my old job. So what do I want to do? Like, what exactly do I want to take of those million things I did that I actually want to do? And it just happened to be something that Sean actually reached out to me directly on LinkedIn, like out of nowhere. And at first I thought that she knew who I was because like her kids went to school with my siblings. She knows my mom. I just thought for sure.
Funny connections. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, of course. Like, I'm like, oh, this is great. Thanks, Mom. But then actually it was in the interview that I realized that she had no idea. I was like, oh yeah, my mom. And she's like, who's your mom? And then when I said her name, she was like, no way, I can't believe it. So I was like, oh, so I got here on my own merit. That feels very good. So it was kind of like a unexpected random thing, but it was like perfect timing when it happened. It's so close to where I live versus the commute I used to do. Like, it just was like, I felt like everything fell into place. Like I found the, where I was supposed to land sort of thing.
Oh. That's really cool. That's so funny. So now being at Tabono Law, obviously the law industry isn't always known for their bold marketing. So how do you make Tabono stand out against a lot of other family law places?
Well, kind of like you said, it's not really hard because I mean, it's fun to kind of like poke through whatever other firms are doing, and let's
Mhm.
be real, it's very minimal. Like that,
Yeah,
they could go months between posting something and not necessarily
yeah.
anything of substance and stuff like that. Um, like at present, because I'm doing so like initially when I first started, I was just part-time doing social media stuff. Like
Mhm.
that was all I did. And
Yeah,
again, like it kind of just like
built
spiraled
from
upward, and then here I am now.
yeah,
But yeah, so I feel like it's been great because I don't feel like I have to like be better than something that seems unattainable because it's like a big law firm that has
yes,
probably like a marketing team that they're paying to
yeah,
do all this stuff for them.
yes.
And we have great partnerships with Andy O'Reilly from
Mhm.
Muskegon channel, and he does things with Sean, like video stuff, which is really great. So that's awesome that we do kind of like educational content as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting in front of people in a way that no one else is doing. And I
yeah,
mean, and it works. Like it's
yes.
working. We're very busy. We're very like
Yeah.
there's not really a need for more. It's a lot more
Right.
turning
Yeah.
people away at this
And that's
point. So
exactly, like, what your audience needs. They need the
yeah.
education and the approachability. Like, they want
Mhm.
someone that's reaching out and, like, showing, like, "Hey, this is who we are, this is what we help with, and, like, let's
Mhm.
make it easy for you to understand." So, that's
Absolutely.
really cool, and it is you guys definitely stand out against a lot of other artists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, what is there any specific project that you've worked with Tabono Law that you're like, "Oh, this has been really cool to do?"
Okay. Well, I mean, I have to say, working with you guys on our website and branding and stuff
Yes, so
was
fun.
such a huge, I mean, such a huge deal because when I
Yeah.
came on, I mean, Tabano, it was Sean Cook is our, owner and main attorney, and
Mhm.
it formerly was Sean Cook Law. That was what it was. And so now she wants to obviously expand with more
Yeah.
attorneys, more location. I mean, big dreams sort of thing. And
Yes.
then so she's like, I want to get away from it just being me. So when she, came up with this name, it was sort of like a quick, who can we do, get a logo, blah, blah, blah. Like it, and clearly it wasn't anything that anyone was really invested in. And I'll be honest, I was like, it's a logo. It does the job. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
so when she said that, I was like so excited. I was like, that was one of my goals within the first year here
Mhm.
was to, okay, I'm like Tabano, like January 2023 was when Tabano launched. And I was like, we're still like, even though Sean's been around for like 20,
Yeah.
30 years, it's still a baby brand. So if like we're
Yeah.
going to do anything, changing now is the time to do it.
Time to do it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that was like a huge it's just like such an awesome accomplishment to look back and be like, wow, that was a lot of work. It was super stressful. It was quite the time, but I knew it
Yeah.
needed to be done. And I'm
Yeah.
just so proud of what we made. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys so much with that.
No, it was so fun too to just go through that whole process, and you guys were so sweet. That was definitely one of the highlights of 2024 projects. So that was really fun.
Yay.
Um, so women in leadership roles often face unique challenges, especially in traditionally male-dominated industries. So what has your experience been in like this regard?
So, kind of like I said, at my previous position, it was definitely a very much a male dominated company.
Yeah.
Everyone in leadership roles was a male. And I felt like I very much was like, I'm not going to get
Yeah.
anywhere. Like, I felt like they tried to be like, oh yeah, I respect
Genuine.
you as
Yeah.
like, your skill, but it still was very much like,
You
I'm like,
felt
I
that.
don't
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I am, even though I know my job is super important to,
Mhm.
like, if I didn't do what I did, we wouldn't have any product. We wouldn't have any like market, like people wouldn't know
Really?
who we were. I was just like, I didn't feel the value there that I
Mhm.
knew that I could. But it's easy to get stuck. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it was like a first opportunity. was able to do some flexibility with like remote work and stuff. So there was like some positives at the time. But
Definitely.
eventually, as like I'm getting to year 4, 5, 6, I'm like, this is not where like I want to be. I'm not around the people that I feel comfortable with and stuff like that. So finding a woman-owned business and being a part of that has just been so life-changing and invigorating because I just and very empowering. Like I just think it's
Yes.
great. Even though we're trying to expand and like, we have a new male attorney and we're looking to obviously expand beyond. Usually it was like Sean and her little team.
Yeah.
And but just the fact that it was established by this, like
Strong.
BA,
Yes.
strong woman that was
Yes, literally.
that
Yeah.
made this happen is just like it's I feel so privileged to be a part of that.
And that like so trickles down within like the whole culture. And as you guys like continue to expand, like
Mhm.
those roots are going to continue to influence your culture and
Yeah.
like keep a lot of that like celebrating and valuing women and like what they
Mhm.
bring to the company and bring to the success. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, as a fellow marketing girl, I completely have heard some interesting marketing advice. Is there any advice that you've heard that you're like, yes, this is great, or anywhere you're like, not so much?
So for the not so much, it's probably like that tried and true, like just post stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like it's just if you put things out there, it
just
doesn't matter
do it.
what it is or what substance there is, as long as you're getting in front of people. I'm like,
Yeah,
like, no, that's not do it. No. I'm like for a while it was like sometimes you just have to do what's being asked of you and stuff like that. And maybe
definitely.
back when social was like smaller than it is now, it's so huge. It's like you have to be
Yes,
so purposeful with everything that you're putting out there. So that's
definitely.
kind of like the biggest thing of like, there's a lot of outdated marketing stuff, which kind of falls into like the best advice would be with marketing, we can be experienced, but we're never going to be experts. Like we're always going to be learning like
Yeah.
that, there's always stuff to learn. Every day platforms change. Every day, like everything is changing. We can't wake up every day and be like, I am the master of Google. Like just even
Yeah.
people that work at Google probably like don't even
Don't even
are
understand. Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's kind of like, respecting my experience and things like that, but also knowing that I have so much to learn from other people
Yes.
and just more, it's just always stay curious, like
Yes.
always just be engaged.
And
It's literally a lifelong learning. Like, it's like, you don't just get to go to school, get your marketing degree. Yay, I'm a marketer. Like you have to be engaged every
yeah.
single day.
And that's the beautiful part about marketing is that it's always like growing and you always have to adapt and learn. And so that is definitely one of the parts of marketing that keep me interested for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So marketing is all about creativity. Is there
Mhm.
any passion projects that you have working on the like outside of work?
Oh goodness, so many things. My husband would be like, "You do too much. Like I want to spend time with you too."
Yeah.
So kind of falling into like I'm into like still do a lot of like I just be a kid forever. I don't care that I'm almost 36. Like I still love what I love and I'm
Yes.
unapologetically me. But I do a lot of I've done everything from using my graphic design for volunteer opportunities for nonprofits. Like one being like I'm vegan, and so animal rights is like highlight focus of me. And I also was always a long time Harry Potter fan, so there was a nonprofit called the Protego Foundation that everything is
Oh,
like magic focused, but it's all
yeah.
focusing on animal rights and stuff like that. And even just like working with different like FanWorks platforms and like I said, the like zines and stuff like that. And I also have a podcast. We're kind of like on a hiatus at this point, but I do have
Okay.
my own podcast. So
What is it? What's the content of your podcast?
sorry, what was that?
What is like the content of your podcast?
Okay. So So it is a Harry Potter podcast, and
We
me and
love
my
it.
best
We love
friend
it.
from Ireland. We literally met online, but he's literally my best friend. I love him to
That's so
death. He
cool.
brings the British energy. He's everything to me. And we genuinely, like, if like any, you or anyone that's listening isn't familiar, shipping culture is like a really big thing in like fandom, where you're taking different characters, maybe not in in actual stories, like them being together. So we just decided, what if we just picked two random characters from the books and we're like, yeah, they got together. How does that work? Like, how do they work? And it's so much fun. It's full of laughs. We never plan anything. It's literally just like, hey, let's pick two people. Let's see what happens. And it's usually chaos. And it's so much fun. I just I love
creative outlet. Yeah.
But it is a time suck because I'm doing all the recording and editing and all that stuff on my own. And even I'm like, I should be promoting this on social media, but at the end of the day of doing all my marketing at work, the last thing I want to do is market myself.
Literally. That's so cool though. That's a great like creative outlet, and it just keeps your mind sharp and keeps it going. That obviously translates into your creativity at work. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we already kind of touched on it a little bit, but is there any advice you would like to leave the listeners with about marketing or about Tabono Law and working there or anything?
So I guess like on the marketing, same thing as I said before, just like don't feel discouraged if you feel like you don't know everything, because you're not going to know everything. Like, and you're going to be like, give yourself grace, and that as long as you come every day and you're like, I want to learn something new, or I don't know, like there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, but I'm going to find out, like sort of thing. So that's kind of the way that I look at that. And as far as like Tabono, I mean, what I love the most about this firm is kind of like we talked about, trying to connect. Obviously law, everyone has their kind of preconceived thoughts of, lawyers, and it's like, money and whatever. And we really want to be approachable and human and things like that. So finding it's like, hey, you're dealing with some really vulnerable stuff, and we're here to like support you, physically, emotionally, all that stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And another big thing that just warms my heart is how much we give to the community. Be that we volunteer at least 4 times a year, and then every month we pick a nonprofit and donate to. Like it's just there's just so much that there's so many places that I feel like say the right things, say like, oh yeah, we do whatever, blah, blah, blah. But knowing that I'm like, I'm seeing it put into practice. Like it's not just fluff there's
actions to back up the words that you guys are saying. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I really appreciate all your insights and just getting to know a little bit more about you behind the successful woman. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate being asked. This is a great honor for sure. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.